Welcome, everyone, to a regular episode of Raw Talking It. We're back in the, it's not the OG, because OG was way before, but we're back in the Pokemon universe here. I'm Andrew, a.k.a. Titus. That's Joe. We're going to finish Pokemon soon, I swear, and we need ideas for our next game. So if you have ideas, leave a comment or type in Twitch chat. This is how we get interaction on our stuff.
I must say, since we last talked about this, I joked about playing Miitopia.
But now it's serious, because I've heard the game's awesome.
No, I bought it.
Oh my god,
with my husband.
Motherfucker. Is it good?
It's really fun. It's really quite fun. And the it is the like low bar, like basic humor, and the gameplay is so easy you don't have to pay attention to it.
Oh shit, Scarlet Nexus is coming out already? Fuck!
So, and also, Miitopia might legit be on sale with all the different sales that are going on right now.
Yeah, there's...
And it's also only $50, not $60.
Well, actually, we'll talk about that a little bit too, because Steam Summer Sale is going on. PlayStation's having a sale, and I believe Nintendo and Microsoft are also having a sale. So, a couple games have actually come out.
Yes, my husband made me buy a third copy of Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Why?
He wanted to own it on his PC so that he could stream it on Discord to his friends.
He has a problem.
He does, but it was on sale at least. And it's Mass Effect, so you know.
But I mean... So?
Oh, I know.
To be fair, though, I own 3 copies of Final Fantasy X, so I get it.
Yeah, like, whatever. It's fine.
I own a PS2, a PS3, a PS4 copy. The only copies I don't own are PC and
it's
Switch.
Not like I was before stream, I was talking about Dragon Age, and I went to the store. We already own all of these games, and I went out and bought not only a used copy of the first and second games for PS3, but I also bought a new PS3 controller.
Oh, you went ahead and bought a new controller?
Yeah, they had them in box at Vintage Stock.
For like what, 55?
It was 40 for used, 45 for like new sealed in box or something.
Well,
I assume they were refurbed and not actually new, but I don't know. But like for $5, yeah, like whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna buy.
Fucking cares for $5?
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy the new one, and so I have a new PS3 controller, wireless, that should work. And so I'll be able to sit my ass on the couch and play all the Dragon Age games.
I have it plugged in all the time. My PS3 controllers are kind of booty.
Oh yeah, no, mine. The one I used for Chrono Trigger not only had to be plugged in all the time, but also if the connection got jostled, it would like die. It couldn't hold a charge at all anymore, and so I was fighting the controller the entire time I was playing the game.
I totally forgot Scarlet Nexus was coming out. So we actually have some big news in terms of game releases.
I have big news in that I am small.
Oh no, you just turned small! We did a whole, 10-minute pre-show discussion, and you didn't turn small that entire time.
Not once.
As soon as we start up, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, time to ruin the day.
Yeah, I plan on upgrading my... Honestly, whatever we play next on
this... now your audio is desynced. Hold on.
God, really?
I fixed it. You're good.
Okay. Am I good now?
I think so, yeah. Because that was fucking weird.
I'm gonna watch. I gotta see. Okay, yes. Fucking
goddamn.
What was I saying?
Oh yeah, we have game release information, upcoming games. So there's actually some stuff happening in the world right now. In terms.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff.
Well, in terms of video games, we actually have some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. The Metro games were coming out. Metro Exodus was coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Legend of Mana Remastered. Who cares? So, new game releases for tomorrow. Mario Golf.
Which is apparently
we were talking about this before stream happened. But yeah, Metacritic gives it a 75.
IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. That was the one that a lot of people were like, "Oh, 6 out of 10."
Yeah, that's not great. See, if it wasn't $60, it's like I looked on the store. What was it? Yesterday? Yeah. Are you all right? You all right?
Sorry.
You all right?
Yeah.
You good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wrong pipe.
I looked at the store yesterday because they were doing a stress test for Pokemon Unite.
Right. Yes.
So a bunch of people region switched their stuff to Japan, which I actually have a Japan account because I got the Yu-Gi-Oh game before it released in America like a couple months early.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do it if I wanted to. I still might. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so I was looking on the store, and that fucking remaster of the Mario Party N64 stuff is gonna be $60.
It is, and they tweeted today, effectively confirming it is just the 5 maps,
That's so butt.
which
That's
is
so butt.
it's not great. And
But they're gonna get.
I mean,
they're
I
gonna
appreciate
get away
it.
with
I think it's a good thing
because
to
they're
exist.
Nintendo.
It just feels
Fucking
like
slap in the face.
it feels like the maps are the easiest part. All the online network connectivity, all the engine stuff, that should all
I
be the
mean,
hard
you already
part.
had
Like
the
adding
engine,
maps
right?
and render. Well, yeah, and they already have the mini games. We don't need more mini games. The 100 mini games is fine.
Yeah.
Like, just make more maps, or at least commit to more being released after the fact. That's also fine.
Oh shit, she's fairy. I forgot. I'm dead.
Oh, yeah, you are like dead.
Oopsie.
In other news, not
See?
gaming, eat these. Boy, not sponsored by Wendy's, but
Or
Wendy's.
Pringles.
If you want a sponsor with 4 viewers, all I'm saying is hit us up. I will eat an entire tube of these in 30 seconds if I have to.
This
They're very
bitch has
good.
dry skin? Oh my god.
Hilarious. And you sent out a fighting type for the record against a fairy psychic.
This is all I have. It's not a dragon.
Literally, you're gonna have to use cut. That's gonna be your best move. Cut.
Oh my god.
That is goddamn
I'm
hilarious.
so dead. This bitch has dry skin.
I mean, if you have a fast dragon, you can just hit it. Don't you have Garchomp with Earthquake or something?
Yeah, I do.
Like, you can do this.
But what the fuck?
Speaking of some world news that's not gaming related, and it's not
gaming related news first.
Oh, okay, do the gaming stuff
Yeah,
first.
Mario Golf
Fine,
has a
fine,
75 on Metacritic on a couple of reviews here. $60, not worth it, people. If you come here for our gaming opinions, don't buy this for $60.
It would be fine. I'm small again. It would be fine if they committed. If they just would say 5 maps on release, we're going to release some more after the fact as free DLC. Because honestly,
for Mario Party,
there's a decent chance they will. There's a decent chance
You're
they
talking for
will.
Mario Party, right?
And so if they just or golf, either way.
Golf is also only 5 maps.
Golf is 6
God,
courses.
that's not enough.
Mario
That's
Party
not
is
enough.
5 maps. No, but if either one of them, if they would just commit to releasing some more content as free updates after the fact, easy, done, I'm sold,
Yeah.
fine, good enough.
If you essentially doubled
But,
your
like-
maps with free content updates where you can roll out slowly, sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to double it. Like if you could release like 3 more in either case, and it'd be fine. It wouldn't be the best iteration of the game ever, but it'd be worth the money.
So
And apparently the courses are fun. Like there's one where there's crazy weather all the time, and there's one where there's like a bunch of different. The courses are all different, and like that's cool. And they're all 18 holes, which admittedly,
Well-
a lot of the golf was centered around like 9-hole courses. So it is
Nintendo's
still like,
gonna get away with it because they're Nintendo.
yeah, they'll get away with it. But yeah, it's not
I'm
gonna
not gonna
be.
do it. But
It's not gonna.
if it was $40, it'd be a different conversation. I'd be, oh, that's
Yeah.
a pretty good deal for $40
Yeah.
bucks.
I agree. I'd do it for 40.
But of course, now I'm gonna be like, well, sorry, I gotta wait until it's like 42 on
That-
sale or some shit.
Yeah, that it is exactly the kind of game that if it's on sale and I can make a night of it with some friends,
Yeah,
done.
but-
Cool. We can have one fun night playing this game, but like, yeah.
So we also had you talked about Miitopia, and this game looked weird as hell when it was like announced.
It's so much fun. If you have to embrace the weird, silly aspect of
has-
it, so you have to be willing to
It
like
only
go
has
crazy.
a 71 on Metacritic, but here's the weird thing: is it actually has an 8.1 user score. So usually the Metascore is higher than the user score. Usually it's like slightly.
Yes,
Usually they're like usually matching, or the user score is a little smaller. This one's actually higher. People seem to kind of
it
dig it.
is. Like it's silly, it's stupid. It's you don't take it seriously, and the gameplay is honestly passive. Like you eventually get a party of 4 people. You only control the main character. Everyone else acts on their own, and you can even set the main character as auto battle, I think, too. But like half the combat is you just watch the combat, and then when it's your turn, you hit attack, and then like you just keep going. Like it's not hard. It's not deep. It's just sort of it's fine, but like it's so silly because like you every time you get to a new place, you create a new cast of characters. And so, for example, we have King Snorlax and his daughter Princess Cupcake, and she's in a love triangle with Falco and um like Luigi or something like that. And that is what's hilarious. Like that's what you should be doing
That's
with the
goofy
game.
as shit.
Right. And what they did that was cool is they basically had you can actually download like access codes for different Mii's. So if you know of a specific one that somebody has made, they can post a code and you can find it,
Okay.
which would be fun because the new Mii editor is crazy. But they also just have a popular tab, and that's made up of Mii's that were uploaded and popularly downloaded from the 3DS original release of the game. And so there's a whole
Right, because this is
bank of like
technically
these.
a remaster,
It's a
right?
port. Yes, it's a port, I think, or close to it. They didn't add any features other. They may have even. It has amiibo, but I think that was supported too. So there's not actually like any new features.
Cursed
So,
Body. Oh lord.
oh, that's actually really
Oh, this
good.
thing is kind of nuts.
All right, since you're caught up now,
This thing is actually kind of insane.
we need to fly back to Anastar,
Oh my god.
I believe.
I can't. I don't. I can't use it, but it's still really good. All right.
Well, why not? It's got a weird. Shouldn't it be about the same level as everything
Level
else on your
50.
team? Yeah, what's
The
everything
only thing
else?
that's level 50 is
Oh, I have stuff in
yeah.
the 60s. Never
The
mind.
only thing that's level 50
Do I?
is my
Oh.
Haxorus. Yeah.
Oh, I need to grab a flyer because I don't have one. Yeah, I put my Cobalion. I'm big now.
God damn it! What the fuck? All right, look.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It just hates you.
I put Cobalion on my team mostly because the rest of my team's fine and I don't
Right,
care that
right.
much. So,
Also, then one more, I guess, gaming. Well, there's a little bit more gaming, but actual in terms of release that releases tomorrow is the Bandai Namco game, Scarlet Nexus, that was supposed to come out. It looks kind of like Nier. I think it looks really pretty. I don't know if I'll buy it, but it does look good. It's been like teased for like 2 fucking years. Where are we going again?
Anastar, the far right.
This one. But yeah, it looks actually pretty good. It looks really smooth. So I'm assuming on PS5 and Xbox Series X, it probably has like really smooth frame rates. It has an 80 Metacritic score, so it actually seems pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's on my list of like things that are upcoming that are releasing soon that I care about, and I don't think there was
There's another game.
anything.
Dungeons and Dragons released their game, the Dark Alliance game, recently. It's not insanely well received. It's a 67 on Metacritic. It's a little, and the user scores are not great either. So,
I'm changing clothes.
but
Yeah, like I said, I don't think there's anything coming out that I'm super desperate about that's coming out like really soon.
I don't really care for. I don't want to play Darkest Dungeon. It's not my thing. But to answer your question, strategy, the thing I was playing before like my little podcast pre-show is a game called Monster Train. It's a deck builder type game. That was recommended by Thundier. It's really fun. It's really fun. It's only $12 on Steam. Super fun looking game. Yeah, it's exactly like Slay the Spire in a sense, except for you have to set up like 3 tiers of stuff rather than, and it has like 5 different clans, so you can do 5 different like styles of deck, similar to Slay the Spire. We have 4 different.
Where are you going? Did he tell us to go to the
he told us to
statue?
go somewhere else. I thought.
I didn't pay attention.
Maybe I should have.
Is it the statue? It would make sense if it was the statue. But he's not here.
Yeah. Slay had a new character released, the monk.
Oh, really? They released a
No,
fifth?
it's the 4th. I'm talking to Strategy hasn't played the new character, the stance changer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what you're saying. That's the.
They released.
No, you can go south.
You can go south, but I don't think it's the way to go.
Yeah. Well, that's the way we go to progress the story overall.
Have we caught it? Have we caught a
Yeah.
Pokemon on that?
I don't think so. I don't think we've been able to go. This is the one where there was.
Guys.
Yeah, there was some reason we couldn't go down this way before.
What's that?
I think he wants to meet us in the next town, which is like a non-gym town. We go to the town, we find him, we say hello, and then we go to the town after that. That's what it was.
Among Us. There's a fungus among us.
It's funny. My character that I battled first was also an Elite Four member. Oh God!
That has a rock spot. That's gonna kill you. God damn.
It was Stone Edge. It didn't kill me, but it should have, because he had Focus Sash too.
Jesus. Man,
Yeah,
you
what
haven't played
else?
a long time, Strategy. You should really play that game more, because the game is actually really good. And it's finished now, so all the bugs are worked out, and they've updated. It's very good. What the fuck do you mean?
It has been a hot minute since I played.
I play modded Slay the Spire a lot, but I really like this new Monster Train game, so I have a feeling I'm gonna get fucking hooked on that. That's gonna be pretty fun.
I really enjoyed way back in the day. There was a game on Crazy Monkey Games that was it wasn't a deck builder, it was like just a card game where you could pick a deck from a selection of cards.
I think I know exactly what fucking game you're talking about.
It was just like vaguely monster, like I don't know, there was like ninja card and mummy card, like whatever. But yeah, I played that game a lot. It was really fun.
This fucking Among Us poisoned the shit out of me. I didn't know you could get poisoned while you're in the air.
Yeah? Why wouldn't you be able to?
Fly makes move miss. Why can it still poison me when I'm in the air? Yeah, exactly. Checkmate, atheist. Bro, that's a horde.
Oh, I got a horde, but no
Chansey,
shinies.
So that's a lot of experience. Oh, your game is kind of...
Yeah, it's gonna be like 20 levels lower, but I'll kill it all.
Not liking that horde.
No, my game isn't liking much of anything. I didn't reboot my computer before stream tonight, and I probably should have.
That was probably a mistake.
Well, it's been...
What the hell? I didn't know Pokemon...
better,
oh yeah, Pokemon
broadly
can
speaking.
the bush. It's a fucking Durant.
Yes.
Don't I have a shiny one of those?
It has... I mean, if you have a Pokeball on it, then you've got a shiny. Who can I use to kill everything at once? Do I not have any good AoE?
I thought you had Flame Burst.
Flame Burst, I don't know if it's actually AoE.
I mean, you can...
Oh, Tyranitar has like Surf. He's fine. But yes. Okay, so in world news, or well, US news, there's the thing that you think I'm going to talk about, but there's actually a different thing that late in the day, they announced that they have achieved a deal on the infrastructure bill.
Really?
Yes, it's very much scaled back, and it doesn't increase taxes on businesses.
Okay.
But like it does also include stuff for electric vehicles. It doesn't include the stuff for like free preschool and college. It doesn't include, but it includes all the legit, definitely infrastructure things, and it also includes that's probably gonna miss at least one of them. And it also includes like it includes some of the stuff, and they basically said that everything that wasn't included in this bill that they wanted that didn't get bipartisan support, they're just going to pass the other way where they don't have to get everybody's votes or whatever.
Sure, I mean,
they just can't do that for everything. There's some rules about how often they can do that or something like that, and so that's what's up with that. But they reached a deal to pass a bunch of it with bipartisan support, which is great.
I mean, is it though? You're not. How are you going to pay for it? You're not increasing taxes on businesses, so how are you paying for it?
They announced some of the money is going to come from unspent COVID relief. Some of the money is going to come from...
That's just printed inflation. I mean, that's not really doing anything. That's just printed money and just going to make inflation go higher. We're not getting the money from anywhere.
No. Unspent, as in the government had allocated a bunch of money for COVID relief that hadn't been spent yet, and so they're just going to divert that money to this now, or some of it.
I don't know if you have kept up, but we've print more money in the past year than we've had in like the past 20. It's insane.
Have we also? Well, interesting. I haven't kept up with that, but I assume they're also taking some currency out of the mix too.
I don't know how that's all working because it's apparently like inflation should be huge, and we're barely seeing it. We're more seeing it in a couple of spots rather than overall.
I don't know the specific nuances about a lot of that stuff.
I would have to ask Chris. He would know. He tells me all the time, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's fucking insane. So anyway, we printed a bunch of money for COVID relief, and then now they want to say that you have money allocated, but if it doesn't really matter if it's just money that's been printed because that money is worth less.
Two hordes, no shinies. Two hordes in a row with completely different Pokemon both times.
Ew,
no shinies.
That's fucking dumb. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But then of course the big news was the collapse in Miami today.
Yeah, there was a building collapse. It was last night, or early this morning.
1:30 in the morning. Yeah, 1:30 in the morning local time. Which is nuts. Yeah. And I initially thought
so 120 feet tall.
Yeah, 12 stories, and I initially thought it was a small portion of the building. It was actually more than half of the building.
Like wing.
Yeah, I thought based on what I saw, I thought it was like effectively the balconies and the back rooms on the back of this building, but it was like 2/3 or so of the building that fell down. In the middle of the night, people sleeping. It's going to be real bad when we start to get more details tomorrow, I assume.
3 confirmed dead and like 99 people missing.
I saw 50 some odd people missing last time I looked, but
recently.
I'm sure they did.
It's pretty crazy.
The other interesting thing too, these were condos beachfront in Miami.
Wow, no shiny.
Apparently a couple were listed for sale, and they were marketed at something like between $600,000 and $700,000 per condo. So these were like actually nice homes. Well, nice and also in a good location, but yeah, they were expensive homes.
Boy, okay, all right, yep, that's insane.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
And they just decided to fall down.
Yep,
that's fucking crazy. It's and what's my speculation of what likely causes? Hard to say. I don't have a lot of details on like the building itself from looking at pictures and such and like looking at stuff. We discussed this a little bit earlier in our chat that we have during work. God, this thing like crumbled.
There was some video, and it definitely collapsed from the bottom up. Did you ever actually watch that video?
The security footage?
Yeah, that actually just shows it entirely, basically. It collapses from the bottom up, so it wasn't like something happened on top and it brought stuff down. It happened from the bottom up. And
I need to watch that. Actually, I want to watch that collapse video again.
I saw some stuff on Reddit, which take that with about an entire spoonful of salt. But there was some stuff on Reddit that basically said that there are some books published about how specifically in the 80s, when this building was built, in Miami, where this building was, there were a there was a bit of a widespread scandal about contractors using subpar materials, less than what they should have been, so that they could pocket the difference. They would charge people for the good stuff, buy the cheap stuff that they weren't supposed to be using, and then pocketed the difference as just like a scam to make money. And so there's some stuff about basically some buildings out there are built with built with subpar materials, and we'll never know which ones exactly were. And so I saw some stuff about how that's basically at the top of the list of like, at a first glance, that's what people think might be going on.
It looks like the center fails, and then it all just kind of collapses.
Yeah, and this would be incredibly scary, but one section of the building doesn't collapse. Like the main middle part of the building fails.
You can see the building. You see the building and then, actually deflect a little bit outward, and then the other part, and then it comes down afterward because it just lost its support.
Right, but it stays upright for like a solid 5 or so seconds. Like the rest of the building falls, and then this part of the building stays for 5 or 10 seconds and then falls, which would be just terrifying.
It's pretty fucking scary, just in general. So a couple things, and this is kind of just speculation, really. We'll get an actual like NTSB report from this, and NTSB will go in. They'll do the analysis. That's really I like
that's
it.
Kind of neat.
I like that actually.
Not gonna use it, but I'll catch it. This is just fun. Oh, level 45. Damn.
Hold on. I wanted to
I don't have any quick
balls. I want to look at this video, see if they show any pictures of what happened or anything. But they're just interviewing people, it looks like.
Yeah.
So my initial thought, and especially from seeing it fail from the center downwards, especially in the ground, what happens is you see this like flash, and you see the middle columns buckle, and then you see the whole building just fall through the centerway. To me, that, number one, why is it fracture critical? Like, why did one thing fail and the whole thing came toppling over? Where's the redundancy in a...
That's why I'm almost curious there's a sinkhole involved, which I don't know how common those are in Florida, but I vaguely recall that being a thing that happens.
So that is my initial thought, is like, man, this is a residential home. Regardless of the materials made, there should still be redundancies here. As an engineer, you put in redundancies, especially if it's a vehicle, especially if it's a thing like hospitals, schools, and apartment buildings have like major safety factors on them, we're talking like multiplying your loads by 2 just to be sure. Like it's kind of nuts. So like for this thing to just fail all at once, it has to be foundation related.
Or the thing I also saw was, if there was some type of access to some type of corroding, like if something was corroding that shouldn't have been corroding, then a whole bunch of things would have gotten weaker over time. Basically, so you have
multiple things fail at once. I mean, that is true. And
if it was something like that, or was an exposure thing, which shouldn't have even happened, but like if it did, then that could explain why a lot of it was.
I've vetoed a Durant before. I'm pretty sure I vetoed. Well,
I think you have.
In the...
Oh, really?
That's...
I literally just caught that Doug Trio. I hadn't even seen this. I'm mad. I'm legit mad about that one. I haven't been that mad since the Giratina. No, I'm not going to catch it. I don't need it. It's level 45.
It's
I'm not
also
gonna use
terrible,
it, but like,
to be fair.
I'm mad. In my opinion, it's the best design of the 3 of them, though. Mesprit, Uxie. It goes Mesprit, then Uxie, then I like Azelf more. Mesprit, Azelf, Uxie. in that order. My preference. I'm gonna kill it. It's just very obnoxious.
I mean, if it's as you said, then so yeah, you have two theories. It was a foundation issue where the soil just gave way and then it just kind of slumped in and it fell, or you have the theory of the construction materials were bad and so a lot of pieces corroded for the past 30 years and then a couple failed all at once and the whole thing. So
40 years.
oh, it's fuck. It's oh my.
It was built in the early 80s.
Oh my god, we're in 2020. I'm so old.
2021.
I'm so fucking old. All right. Yeah, you're right.
Just saying.
So, if that's the case, that's just like highly unlucky and
Well, and the other unfortunate thing, and I saw some comments about this, was about how if it was some contractor in the 80s that did this, they're 80. They're probably dead.
But if
they're probably long dead, and like,
yeah, I guess
that's the problem. They'll never see justice because they probably died 10 years ago. Like maybe some individual that might have known about something, like maybe is still alive. But if you're imagining the head of some contracting firm,
but I mean,
in the 80s, they were probably 40
they'll
or 50.
punish whatever. If the contracting firm is still around, they'll punish whatever contracting firm is still around.
Yes, if the business is still around, for sure. But you wouldn't be able to like arrest anybody.
Also,
basically.
if it is a sinkhole, assuming center based in your comment, would the other side have more damage? Not necessarily. If you look at the building, there's like 3 sections. There's like the side section, the section, and the other side section there. The sinkhole can only be in one part of it, in the foundation, and it's the catalyst that makes the whole thing fall.
Sinkholes can be small or large. Oh my god, 3 in a row. And also, that's adorable. I would have caught him. I wouldn't have vetoed Bidoof. I love him a lot more after Pokemon Snap. I will say, though, I'm not really going to go out of my way to finish these routes anymore. I'm just going to kind of go. Like, I'm going to get my shiny each time, but then I'm just going to basically beeline to the end of the game. I think you should, too. I don't think there's not much to gain, really, anymore. Does it have... No, it just did survive with, like, 1 HP. Okay.
What a monster.
It didn't have an ability or an item, it just did.
I don't know. Things like that piss me off, especially if it comes out... I mean, if it's a sinkhole and nobody could have known. Like...
Right, like you could. There's some soil engineering that you can do, but like sinkholes are really hard to predict, especially underneath a building that's 40 years old.
Yeah, it's hard to see. And like, I read some stuff, and there was like somebody like was concerned. There was construction nearby, and someone's concerned about concrete cracking by the pool, and it's like that's not cause for a concern. Concrete just cracks, like it just.
Well, and also it's really obnoxious too because. Like, houses also settle, right? And you can get cracks in a wall and be worried, but it's like, oh, no, houses just do that. And that's obnoxious. Oh, technically, Zygarde is on this route?
Yes.
But I think he's post-game only. I think he's locked in a cave that you can't get to until he's in the post-game. So I don't think we can get him right now.
But do buildings have to be inspected? I don't know the answer to that question.
That's very likely. Wow, another horde without a shiny. It's very likely that if they do, that's based per state.
Also, probably not the soil. The soil probably isn't inspected.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You also don't build on sand, right? Beaches are weird, but like the soil near a beach is still soil. It's not sand. Like it is different, even though it's
it's just not a very good idea.
Yeah. Did you already find your shiny, or am I crazy?
Found it yet. I was gonna.
Okay. I'll stick around on the route until you do.
To something, so I can go over here.
You could go. I guess technically there's the caves here. And you would get another encounter in the caves.
But, oh my god, really? A fucking rock break Pokemon?
So I'm going to work on that. That's funny. Yeah, I'm going to go into the caves and try to get a Pokemon in the caves.
Yeah, I don't want to speak. I think I don't know what ASC or the National Building Index codes are for inspection of apartment buildings, but usually they like if anything like you would inspect columns, you would make sure certain things are to code and that kind of thing. I don't know about like in terms of like looking for a sinkhole. What's up, Thunder? I don't know about looking for a sinkhole or anything like that. I don't know if that was it. Like that's a geologist thing, and you have to go in and do cores, and like you don't want to just core through the floor of an apartment building. And you could do
Yeah, no, you don't want to
like
go through the foundation. That's
side
bad too.
cores and stuff, sure, but like no one's gonna do that. Oh my god, that Litleo is amazing.
I'll catch it and see if I can level it up
it,
once to evolve it because it's level like 40 something.
Oh, it's female.
It is female.
Okay,
the females are still good, and I imagine they have the same color
it's
scheme.
very pretty. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, let's
I
see
really
if I
liked
can
that
catch this
Pokemon
thing.
when it came out.
I remember you hunted and hunted and hunted for a male.
I hunted
one.
for the male and the female. I got the female super early. I didn't get the male
because it's like 7 to 1 or 5 to 1
how
female.
much it is. It's like,
and I wanted the female because I think female lions are cooler than male lions. All things
wanted
considered.
both, and I just had to get both, and I didn't for a very long time.
Yeah, and I want to say there was some dumb thing where you were like, I can't remember what it was, but there was something where you were like, not where like you probably actually had found one, but you didn't catch it or something. I don't remember. It was in college. Oh, that's the inverse battle. Yeah, I'll go do it if I catch this shiny before you catch your two shinies. I'll go do the battle to kill time.
It's gonna be pretty fast. So yeah, in terms of like I wouldn't say I have an expert opinion, but in terms of like my professional opinion would be Cheetos is a good name. Chester Cheeto, that's a good name.
No, I'll just go Cheetos. I like the idea of just Cheetos.
I would have to say we really need to look at the foundation and the soil.
Yeah.
Like.
Why is cut not very
especially
effective?
if it's a spread footing, which for those of you who don't know what a spread footing is, it's thick ass concrete spread over a big area, and then there's
why is cut not very effective?
I don't.
What ability does this guy have?
Normal typing against normal.
He's normal fire.
Makes it so that he's I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's not very effective.
Weird. Ooh, resilient. So I would say it's either a foundation issue or a compounded issue, like Joe was saying, of the whole bullshit that happened with bad materials like that. I mean, it's one of those two. I'd be surprised if it was anything else. If they tell me the building was built in the 80s and they didn't think about redundancy, that whoever that engineer firm is should never be hired again, because especially with people, you always build in redundancies.
Yep, absolutely.
We don't build fracture critical bridges because
this is like
it's fucking nuts.
Well, this is like we live in Kansas. We have the what was the name of that building?
You talking about the hotel?
The hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the example of that engineers use in engineering school about redundancies and checking your work and extra pairs of eyes.
Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Hi, Michael. That's interesting. I like that.
If you're unaware, basically in Kansas City, there was this hotel that had this like hanging balcony bridge thing as part of like it was like but it was internal. It was a people bridge inside Hyatt, yes.
In 81.
And right, and this building had basically there was a night where there was some event or something and there were a ton of people on it, and it didn't support the way it should have been able to support.
Yeah.
And the bridge collapsed, and basically everybody on it died. There was like 100 and some odd deaths, and it all came down to basically in the design there were these particular cables that were meant to take a certain amount of the load, and somebody didn't account for the free body diagram and the forces correctly, and basically wound up with the cables only supported half what the math said they would be holding
Um,
up, and they
I
snapped.
don't believe that's the case.
It was an attachment on the
Yes,
cables,
they
and
they said the contractor and then the engineer that built it, and then the engineer that designed it and the contractor that built it. The contractor wanted to do a different connection, and the engineer didn't do the
yes,
math on it and just said, "Sure, yeah, that's okay." And
this connection is fine. It's
literally
not
didn't do the
different,
math.
but it was different.
Literally didn't do any kind of anything on it and said, "Yeah, sure, it's fine. Go ahead." And it ended up collapsing.
Yeah, because it changed the load. Basically, it doubled, it halved the amount of weight that those attachments could hold. That's what it was. They didn't account for it acted like a basically different thing.
I already have one
It's
of these.
complicated, but
I have a shiny
do you?
Absol, yeah.
Oh yeah, you do. But yeah, that's what happened with it.
Yeah,
And Thunder Miami is a lot of sand, but sand and sandy soil and soil are all different, and you do account for that.
Here.
So like,
I mean, it is what it is. We have clay soil too.
well, Doug Trio has multi-type.
What the fuck?
What the F is multi-type?
Oh,
it's got
it has the Arceus ability. Oh, that's
funny.
great.
But that doesn't explain what's going on with Litleo, because Litleo has Contrary, which is not right, and it doesn't have. Wait, hold on.
Does just normal affect normal, not very affect normal?
No.
I saw a shiny.
No, cut
I saw a shiny
fine.
sparkle. What is it?
It's on the right.
Ew, is it bar? Is it?
I think it's barbarical.
Oh god.
It's purple. It's kind of cool. I look like an. You have Mesprit in there too. Yeah, I do not know why cut wasn't working on this guy.
I hate that Pokemon.
Like straight up, I do not know why cut was not very effective on this Litleo. That should not have been the case at all.
I want a shiny Noivern that popped down. That'd be nice. So yeah,
dude, Noivern's gas. It's actually terrible, but it's
engineers.
fun.
Double check your work and don't blindly say something works. Hey, and Tyrannosaurus Charge, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I missed that. We don't have
Oh my god, you terrible
we don't
streamer!
have notifications come up while the podcast is going on. I apologize so much. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. We're just kind of chilling, discussing stuff.
Discussing world events and Pokemon at the same time and in the same breath.
Fancy. Look at this guy and his breath support. Breath support. You know, because you can talk in the same breath, so it's breath support. Never mind. Anyway, what's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah. Yep. How's chat?
I don't blame you if you want to follow.
Yeah, I don't. No. I honestly don't blame you if you want to follow either. To be fair.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I would appreciate if you wouldn't, but I get it. Yeah. I just say I get it. Like, I understand. Like Joe doesn't have a choice. He has to be friends with me. You guys have a choice. Run.
True. I do have to be friends. He still has my copy of Xenoblade 2, so I have to be friends with him until I get it back.
It's right here.
So, I see you're drinking that Porch Rocker too.
I'm drinking the shit out of this. I have another.
I got a new whiskey. Yeah, you have my collector's edition. You have my nice copy of Xenoblade 2. I tried a new whiskey recently. We bought one. There was this liquor store that was by our house that we were like, oh, we've never been in there. Like, let's go in there. We were looking for something specific, and it was a little bigger than the one we normally go to. And we went in, and it's like a specialty liquor store. Like they barely had any beer, but they had like tons of wine and liquors, but like 4 or 5 bottles of each thing. So there was an insane amount of variety without actually much else. And so that was really cool. And so we found this whiskey, and I bought it, and I tried it the other night.
Hey, speaking of, I think I'm gonna go get a beer with my boss tomorrow, which will be nice. talk to my boss. I haven't had one-on-one time with my boss in a while, and she's wonderful. Why did I send in my fire Pokemon against a Duat?
Loki confirmed his first openly by Disney character. I mean, yeah, it's Loki. It's Loki. I mean, it's nice for them to say it, but also Disney shouldn't be cowards. Apparently, I'm going to spoil something, but you know that movie Luca that was coming out from Pixar?
Yes.
The one that was definitely Call Me by the Shape of Your Name,
Yeah.
aka Call Me by Your Name plus The Shape of Water mashed up. That movie was like hella gay, and then it came out and there's no gayness at all in it, and people are kind of mad about it because it's also definitely gay.
Yeah. So
Like
here's
it's the entire game, the entire movie is apparently like a metaphor for accepting yourself and for coming out as something, in this case as a sea monster, to the world. And there's all these deep metaphors about it, but then they don't actually actually commit to it,
here's
which is
the thing.
frustrating.
Doesn't need to be an article. Yes. And
some people want to see it.
And Joe exactly just said it. Representation matters. Does it need to be an article? Like, need to be?
Does it need to be an article in Time magazine or the New York Times? No. Does it need to be an article in LGBTnews.com or whatever?
Or just in general news where people are browsing to get their news? It needs to be there because representation actually matters. And the thing is, like, if it doesn't affect you, then just keep scrolling. Who cares?
It's no more or less important than the latest Kardashian drama.
Who fucking cares?
Like, if that gets to continue to be news, then this can be news too.
I 100% agree with that.
Like, and again, it doesn't even need to be news. Sometimes the news is a paragraph. It's just saying this thing happened, and everyone goes neat, and then moves on. Like it's okay for news to be not much and not interesting. And sure, and the other answer is like, fine, it's Loki. He's barely
he's not even
like,
really
not
a mortal
really
being
a person.
anyway.
Yeah, so like, what they need to, and also by the way, we have started Loki. We've only seen the first 2 episodes. It's really good. You should watch it, dude. It's so good. You should definitely watch it. Did you get it? Did you get it?
It's a shiny.
Oh, Gyarados. But that's still really good. It almost looks like a Chingling with the stripes.
It looks exactly like a Chingling.
Like it's the same colors. Yeah.
Whoa.
Did you get your shiny outside the cave?
No, I haven't got my shiny outside the cave yet. I got my shiny inside the cave.
Okay, I'm going to go do the inverse battle then and see if I can figure it out, because the inverse battles are hard.
What do I need to do with this? Let's go with...
But yeah, like, does it need to be... But yeah, yeah, like, Loki is... It's... Well, number one, if anyone's going to be bi or gay, it's going to be a Norse god. They were hella gay. If you were not aware, they were, like, very genderqueer, gay, all that jazz. They were, like, all of those things wrapped up in one. Okay, inverse battle against an Altaria, so I use the fighting move, right?
Yes.
Or the dragon move would be good, too.
No. No.
Yes. Inverse battle.
No. If it's an inverse battle, dragon is weak to dragon, so dragon will not be weak to dragon.
Oh, shit. I thought this was fairy.
He's not fairy. He's dragon flying.
Mega Altaria is dragon fairy.
Yes.
This is dragon flying. Okay, yes. Aura sphere. But no.
My dog is dreaming so fucking
agree.
loud I can hear it through my headphones.
Huh?
My dog is dreaming so loud I can hear it through my headphones and you talking.
Yeah, Orion does that sometimes too. But yeah, I would agree with you, Strategy. Like, I would also rather, if we're going to do representation, I want, of course, you just use Perish Song. You don't even use an interesting move. You just use Perish Song.
Do it in an animated movie where all the kids are going to watch so they feel like they also have representation.
Just do it and don't make it... I want them to make a main character be...
Gay as hell.
Like, I don't want it to be a side character that can be cut out. I want it to be the plot of the movie. I want it to, like... I want it to be the focus. I want them to just not be cowards. And also... And this is not a huge deal, but I will also say most of the representation for gay people in media I see right now tends to be when it's working its way into the mainstream and not on a platform that you would sort of expect to be friendly to it. It tends to be women. I want it to be a dude. I want
Yeah.
there to be gay guys because
Yeah.
it's not ever. It's
You
always.
fucking would. You would.
I would.
You homo. Oh my god, Gudra's here, son of a bitch.
Well, it's fine. Go outside the cave.
Got the shiny fucking.
But no, I do want them to. God, Masquerain. Bug, water.
Okay.
What's bad against bug and water?
What's bad against water? Grass.
Bug and water. Yeah, grass would be the best.
So grass is double effective?
I don't have that.
Damn. Unfortunate. Fire.
That would be neutral.
Oh, right, because bug would go opposite and water would do super effective. So, okay, never mind.
I think I want to keep in for fighting. I think fighting's still going to be the worst, which is the best.
Yeah, where the representation exactly Thunder exactly. If you look at it, we haven't seen a lot of representation of like gay men. You always see the women like thing. It's just like, oh, it's like
it is. Society is way more accepting because people like their lesbian porn. That's what it is. Sorry, spoiled it, but like that's what it is.
I mean,
oh no, I stayed in for Bearish song.
Can you agree with them though? Or can you disagree? Oh my God, shiny Phoebus! Fuck me.
Oh. You're not. The problem is you're not going to be able to evolve that thing. I don't even know how it evolves in this game.
It evolves by level, I thought.
I thought it was trade with a prism scale. I don't think you can evolve it anyways, but that is a bummer. A bummeroony, as they might say.
That is a ripperoony.
Yes. I didn't see what's coming out next, so I'm just going to have to guess. But yeah, I mean, and also like... And I want it to be the focus, but I want it to not be the focus too. I want them to just sort of like vaguely address that, like,
just do it.
Yeah, just like you can establish some themes, and hey, I'm all good if you want to go for like people's emotions and stuff. Yeah, you can make the entire story about that. Fine, but it's fine also if they just
are gay.
If they just are gay and and early on you have a scene that establishes it and you can make be some tension behind that, but like just do the thing.
It's fine.
You know?
Like it. You know what's crazy about it is in what would mean more to people rather than anything else is having an openly gay character and have a normal fucking storyline, and they don't have to be treated special and they don't have to be, reacted to in a certain way. It would just be a normal fucking storyline, which is a gay person, and that's it. Because then you can normalize it.
Yes. Like
Michael and me are on the same fucking page. Oh my God, Michael, you're the best. Same page. All right, go on. Sorry, I had to fucking freak out about that.
Well, like it's nice if it's not needed, but like we don't live there yet.
Yeah.
We don't live in that world.
That's the sad part.
And I would love to live there, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people that want to skip to that, and it's like we don't get to skip to that yet.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done.
We didn't get there. It's nice that you think that way, and it's nice that you don't have a problem with it and you don't want to see it, but we can't just skip ahead because 20% of people or 40% of people are just cool with it, and everybody else, like, we have to do the work to get there. And then when we're there, it cannot matter anymore. But we have to get there first. Because I have friends that are all like, it shouldn't be news. It shouldn't be, I shouldn't have to hear about it. I shouldn't, why does it have to be forced into my video game or whatever?
Oh.
And it's like,
because representation matters.
Because it matters, and we're not there.
I mean, let's talk about Miles Morales if we want to go down that route, especially in video games. Sony and all of them for Miles. Oh, that's a shiny one of those. That's cool.
Shiny one. Ooh, that is really cool.
I'll just catch it to be done. But let's talk about Miles Morales with the Black Lives Matter mural and the suit that you could get. And there was a small quest about it too. And
I didn't know about this.
Yes. Insanely good. insanely good quest, insanely good story. The game was great, and it's representation. And people see a black superhero that is loved by a lot of people, and you're just like, you know what? That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Why does it need to be shoved in there? Because one, it's current.
Yeah, that games are media just like any other art form. Like they don't have to respond to current events, but like they should sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Cheetos is about to evolve, so let's see what it looks like. I assume it's going to be mostly still orange, but
it'll be cool.
Like
it matters. It really, really matters. It comes up. It really does. And so, if you ever see something like that, and you're like, "Why is it?" Just keep scrolling. It's fine. It doesn't bother you. Just keep scrolling.
And it doesn't also. There's this idea I've heard from at least one friend where it needs to matter to the story first. Oh, it's totally different.
Oh wow!
That's so cool.
Oh,
I'm sad I can't use it, but that's really cool. That's really pretty. And I'm not gonna go try to find a male one, but that's so cool. That's very, very cool. But no, and there are also plenty of games and media
I'm kind of jealous.
where
it's fucking slick.
There are plenty of Cheetos doesn't make any sense now. There are plenty of games where it doesn't matter. Like, for example, I was talking about Dragon Age earlier. Dragon Age has gay characters and gay people, and they do it in a way where that just is the way that the world is. And actually, this is really interesting, and I'm going to spoil some stuff about Dragon Age, but in Dragon Age Origins, there are 2 straight characters you can romance and 2 bisexual characters you can romance. And one of them is a guy, and he's like, I appreciate beauty in all forms. A beautiful woman, a beautiful man. And then, like, you can bone him. Like, great, cool. And it just is, and they don't really, no one ever cares or draws attention. It just is the way that it is. Great, cool, that's awesome. And it has Aura Break now, which I think is... What is Aura Break?
So I want to bring up.
Oh, Aura abilities are reversed.
I want to bring up something that starts. So in the Spider-Verse movie, there's a line that most people actually miss, because you don't really think about it. But it's when Peter Parker is talking to Miles, and they're talking about spider sense, and Miles goes, "My spider sense is always going off." If you think about it, it's because he's black. That's why his spider sense is always going off.
Because there's always problematic stuff around him,
and his spider sense is always going off. Most people don't miss it. They go like, "Oh, it's always going off because he's not trained." No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
that's not how spider sense
and also
works.
with Miles, it's not about his race, but it is about his race.
There are
some stuff in the comics where he's like, "I don't want to be Black Spider-Man. I want to be Spider-Man."
Yeah, it's a major point for his character,
which is accurate. But it also doesn't negate the fact that he has challenges that other people don't have. Like, he is not Peter Parker, and his life is very different because of it, and he is a different Spider-Man because of it. And that's why it's interesting. I also think, too, with a lot of these cases, you can tell different and interesting stories that you can't tell. Like I don't want to be here arguing for that it has to matter for your plot to include it, because I don't believe that at all. But, for example, Last of Us Part 2, I know you haven't played it, but I'm going to spoil it. Ellie is lesbian.
Oh, we learned that in
her love interest.
We earned that in the DLC. We learned that in the DLC of the first game.
But her love interest, she spends a lot of time with in Last of Us 2, is bisexual. And I don't want to spoil it, but that specifically that she is bisexual allows for a specific
love triangle
set of event. A love, more than just a love triangle, but yes, it allows for some stuff to happen that would not work if she was also just lesbian, and like it makes for a really interesting story. Which is why, by the way, you really need to play Last of Us Part 2 if you enjoyed the first one. Like, it is really that good.
Yeah, I need you to vamp because I slammed my beer. I need to go get another one.
Oh crap! I need to get. Okay, I'll vamp for a little bit.
I slammed my second beer. I need to get my third one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go get a third drink after, but I'll vamp for you in the meantime.
That's how fast we're going today. We're going hard, baby.
All right, I'll vamp. Let's go.
I don't know.
Strategy, what do I need to spoil? It's 15 years old. I is Last of Us Part 1 15 years? I don't know if I can handle that if that's true. I don't know if I can handle that if that's true. Um, what am I fucking? What city am I in? Comarine? Is that what I'm in? No. What city am I in? Coraway? Is that what I'm in? Yeah, train station. Is there a TM in this town? From lady at train station, waterfall and quiz in hotel. Okay, so there's two TMs we can get. Um, oh, but yeah, no, Dragon Age Origins. Um, yeah, you have. But then, so what I was actually getting at, and it doesn't matter if Titus hears this or not, but in Dragon Age 2, well, no. I'm gonna wait for Titus to get back because sexuality in the Dragon Age universe is actually legit interesting, and we're gonna talk about it.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna go through it all because I've had this conversation in the shower too many times because I'm interested in Dragon Age, so we're gonna talk about it.
What are we talking about?
Sexuality in the Dragon Age universe. We're gonna
Are
do it.
we?
Yes,
Why?
because it's interesting. Also, there are two TMs in this town:
But is
the
it
lady at the train station and the quiz at the hotel.
is it that interesting? It's just like, yeah, they
No, it is actually interesting because all three games are different.
huh?
So, game one, two straight romances, two bisexual romances, like canonically bisexual, and not a ton of like details about it. It's just like it is. People don't comment about it. There's no like, oh, I'm surprised that. Nope, none of that. You just are, and it is, and it's not a big deal. The TM for Woodhammer, that's really good.
Mine was substitute.
At the train, the other one is the hotel. There's a quiz. So that's Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age 2 is interesting because there are four. Well, okay, there's a DLC who's straight only, but the other four are they're player sexual, which is
They'll do
a
whatever.
term that. Well, they're not just bisexual, but it's that not only are they bisexual, but they don't really mention their sexuality in any context except for accepting the player's advances. Interestingly, one of the characters is a male character, and as part of, well, two of them are, two males, two females. One of the characters specifically, at a specific point in the story, will tell you about basically a childhood friend he had in school that was very close to him. And he will elaborate that he was in love with this boy only if you are romancing him as a male. So, like, that is there, but you never know about it unless you're also a male player romancing this
Oh, so they
character.
give you special options. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like it really drives home the idea of the like player sexual thing, because he does not mention it in any other circumstances. He just mentions that he had this friend that he was close to that died, but if you're male and romancing him, he will admit that it's more than that. One of the characters might actually be canonically bisexual because she's like sexy pirate lady, and so I could see her making comments either way. But then and that's the case. So in Dragon Age 1, there's a couple bisexual characters and they don't make any comment about it. In Dragon Age 2, everyone's player sexual, and again, it's in a different country and they just don't really mention it. In Dragon Age Inquisition, there are 8 romance options, first of all.
That's a lot.
And there are 8 romance options. Some of them, there's 2 bisexual options, 2 exclusively gay options, 4 straight options, but 2 of those straight options are gated behind certain races. Like, there's actually a lot of, if you want the most options, you play as a female elf, because you have, I think, 6 romance options. But if you play like a male dwarf, you only have like 3 or something like that. Something along those lines. But anyways, in that one, there's actually Dragon Age Inquisition has, much like Mass Effect, like codex entries, and in Dragon Age Inquisition, you find standalone, just like codex entries. I guess Mass Effect has that too. You inspect something and then you get an entry in your codex or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't call it a codex.
Yeah.
Which, cool. There is one you find that literally is sexuality in and I can't remember I can't remember what the name of like the whole world is called. Whatever the equivalent of Tamriel is to Skyrim. There's some world. Thetis. Thetis is the world. It's sexuality in the world of Thetis. And they talk about how in some countries, like people can be gay by whatever and it doesn't matter. And there's this like monk guy going around researching sexuality, and he talks about how in some countries not a big deal. In some countries it is, it's nobody cares, but it is kind of vaguely scandalous. And then the interesting thing is in Dragon Age Inquisition, the gay male option has a specific backstory where he was like shunned from his home because he was gay. And the reason for that is their society is very old timey, but also it's based exclusively on blood magic as the being the place that people get power from, and the and hereditary stuff. And so if you don't have biological offspring, it like hurts your house name. And so the fact that he's exclusively gay, he's like, my family wants me to just marry some woman and then have lovers on the side, but that's not what I want. I want to be with a man. And like I don't, and that's why they shun me from home or whatever, because I refuse to like be the way that they wanted me to be. And so they managed to work in a story about not being accepted for your sexuality in a world that largely doesn't give a shit. Like in Inquisition, you also have this whole thing where the empress of the country next door has this female lover, and that's like not a big deal. And also maybe she's trying to kill the empress. I can't remember exactly the
Maybe it is a big deal.
circumstances. But like yeah, they have this idea where it's like, oh yeah, she has this female lover that's like that she's not married to, and everyone's just like chill with it because whatever, that's something that royalty does, and who cares. And there are also a few canonical gay couples in the story as well. But like the fact that they managed to tell the like sort of quintessential gay not accepted at home story in a world where it like arguably it shouldn't have even existed and previously didn't, but they managed to work it in anyways and do it well was really cool. Uh Strategy, you might be right. Leliana and Zevran is his name. You might be able to do something weird. And in Dragon Age 2, there's also 4 romance options, and to my knowledge, you can romance all of them at once. And it doesn't change anything. There's no like single like, oh, it's the romance scene time like Mass Effect has. You just can romance everybody at once if you want to. And
Hell
it just
yeah.
doesn't change anything, which is cool.
Hell yeah. I want to fuck all the bitches.
But yeah, Inquisition is really cool. The also it was good for them to introduce exclusively gay options, which Mass Effect 3 also does. Mass Effect 3 has an exclusive lesbian and exclusive gay man option. The gay man character I have some beef with. His story is good, but
He's a Chad.
eh. No, he's the opposite. His story is all about he had a husband that died, and so you romance him kind of as a rebound. Like you get him to finally move on, which he has some recording from his husband that explicitly says, "I want you to move on. Please, like remember me, but don't
And
be
he's a
sad
sad
forever,"
old bitch.
kind of thing. And he's sad. Whereas the female is just she's really funny and cute, and she would make a great romance
I'm trying
option.
to, in the second one, I'm
Uh,
trying to fuck the ship lady. Catherine? No.
Miranda,
The girl by the ship. What?
Callie.
What are you on about?
Wait, sorry, you're
Yeah.
playing female Shep. You don't have. You don't have. Mass Effect 2 doesn't have
Okay.
gay options. It has.
Yeah.
Kelly is the only one.
Yeah.
Chambers. She doesn't give you the achievement for romance.
Okay.
She's not a
She
full
dances
romance.
for me.
Does dance for you, but she's the least interesting romance. I still think you're going to wind up romancing Garrus. I just don't see it not happening.
Okay,
You
so
like Garrus
Kelly's
too much. Your options are Garrus, Jacob, and Thane. And I don't think you'll like Jacob because he's just mostly boring. Thane is interesting, but I think you're gonna like Garrus. I think you're just gonna I watched Jane do it. His romance is incredibly sweet and awkward. Like he's the cool badass, but then when you proposition him, basically, he's like
Awkward.
He's very cute and awkward about it. He's like, oh, oh, okay. You're a human, so I think I need to watch some videos.
That's actually really funny.
It's really, really funny. He's so sweet about it.
That shit's
He's so sweet about it. It's really, really funny. And Tally, if you're male Shep, Tally legit just has a crush on you canonically no matter what. And so she's super awkward if you approach her because she just like has a crush on you. The hotel is up the stairs to your right. And he should ask you a question about some Pokemon, and if you answer correctly, you get a TM. I got Leech Life. That's fine. Leech Life's cool, I guess.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
It's the little girl right there, yeah.
Kelp. For some reason,
Kelp,
I don't know why my brain processed it the other way. Poison Tail. Poison Tail's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, the lesbian option in ME3 is actually really, really good. She's like
right,
sexy nerd
now,
lady.
So
we just leave. Yeah, we're just done with
route,
this town.
And then... Oops, there's a person here.
We can do a bit more. Oh, I said I was gonna vamp for you, and then go get a drink. And I need to go. I'm gonna check one Pokemon encounter.
So you can get a drink because we apparently ran out of drinks very quick this week. It's been a really long week.
Yeah. It's been a long week, and the last couple streams weren't Pokemon, so like, yeah, I'm really leaning into it right now, and I'm having fun.
You're not allowed to have fun. This bitch.
Yes. I will say though, Dragon Age Inquisition has the funniest romance. I don't think you're gonna play Dragon Age anytime soon.
I don't have the time.
But
I don't have the fucking
Dragon
time.
Age has humans, elves, and dwarves, right? But then it also has the Qunari. And they are these like horned demon-looking guys. Like they're big, giant guy. Ooh, Mind Chow. I'm gonna veto that because I don't really care about Mind Chow, but that's cool. They're these giant demon guys, basically. They're not demons. They look like big. They look like your classical demon. They have like vaguely purplish skin and they have big horns. And one of your bisexual romance options in Dragon Age Inquisition is the big giant demon guy. And I remember reading, they actually specifically, he's so big that initially he was planned to not be romanceable by dwarves because they would be too small. And somebody went out of their way to animate a special dwarf scene with male dwarves so that you could still romance him. Where he lifts you up by your hands and says, "Are you sure you want this?" And your character will go, "You're going to have to go a lot slower and a lot harder."
That's okay.
I'll send you the scene later. It's really short, but like, it's really, really funny. And also, he's voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr., who is also in Mass Effect 3. By the oh, that's so good.
That one looks
really
good.
Oh yeah, that is and it's so fitting. Like he's a poison dart frog, so it's so perfect.
Damn, that looks really good.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to catch him. But yeah, so anyways, Freddie Prinze Jr. voices this big giant demon guy who will like basically fuck you for fun. Like it's so ridiculous. Whereas the exclusively gay option is like very flamboyant. Dart, right? He's got a twirly
like Dart's
mustache.
Just a really good name.
Dart, yeah.
Sorry, I just thought of it. It just like immediately came to my head.
Yeah.
That's really good.
What do Ironhead? No, Retaliate's probably the weakest thing I have. I hope I don't kill it, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, I can do that again.
There's also a TM.
That's terrifying. Yeah, I see that. I think you basically have to get all the way to the end and then come back.
Oh, I have to surf. Don't I?
Um,
Fuck.
but yes, and that character's name, his name is the Iron Bull.
That's
That is
so
his
good.
actual name with
That's
the
so
article.
Good.
The Iron Bull, and he's like, so I hear you want to ride the bull.
Oh.
He's so
That's
good. He's such a good
that's
character.
fucking. I mean, it's better if they just
There's
really
he
lean into it. Like
They do, and here's the other thing. He has a romance scene that you exclusively get where you basically have sex in like some shed somewhere, and all of your war advisors are like looking for you. They're like, "Oh, I have this news I need to deliver to the Inquisitor." And they come into the room without realizing that you and Bull, who is a giant demon monster, are just like naked, having just had sex, and they walk in on you and they're like, oh God, I'm so sorry, like, oh my
oops.
God. And they like it's really really funny, and it's only if you do that, like
Please
you
kill it.
only
Please
get
kill
that
it.
scene
Please
if you
kill it.
romance
Thank
him,
God,
and
because I almost hit myself.
it is it is absolutely hilarious. um Iron Bull is definitely one of the best romances. I played a female elf, so I could. There's one guy who can only be romanced if you are a female elf exclusively, and he's really relevant to the story. Basically, that's why he's sort of very exclusive. His romance is really good, but he's very exclusive to the story, basically. But yeah, no, the Iron Bull is fucking hilarious. But Inquisition also there's the bisexual lady. You have to like duel for her honor and have a sword fight with a guy, and um and also there's some really great stuff where different characters will romance each other if you don't romance them. So they will form their own bonds depending on who you romance. And one of them, there's the guy who's like the sweet guy, and if you don't romance him, he
Oh,
gets a dog.
BioWare. Remember when you made good games?
Right? And then
Well,
that's
I guess they
Cullen.
said that they're making another Dragon
The actual
Age.
Yeah. The Iron Bull and the gay guy actually end up together if you don't romance either of them. They they like secretly romance across country lines because they're from like rival factions, but they will meet up and. But yes, the Iron Bull, and he will specify that the is important.
Ridiculous.
Then there's Josephine Montpellier. She's the bisexual lady you duel for her honor. Cassandra Pentagast, who is like basically the Knight Templar
Far-fetched.
super honorable lady, but she has a weakness for one of the characters that you can't romance. He's an author, but he's kind of like a shitty adventure author. But he's written romance novels, like shitty smut, and she is obsessed with his smut, but she doesn't want him to know. But the last book was written on a cliffhanger, so as part of her quest, you have to go convince
Finish the book.
the other guy to finish writing his shitty romance book for her. And he's like, I'll do it, but only if I can be the one to give it to her in person.
Miss Magius, huh? Magius, whatever. Magius? Magius? How would you say? Magius?
I say Miss Magius myself. Yeah. Let's see. KOTOR is the other major BioWare game.
Republic.
Baldur's Gate, KOTOR, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. Those are the main ones. Let's see. There's
shitballs.
What is the other good romance? Cassandra, Sarah, who's like she's like an anti-elf populist.
Oh,
she's a
hi, Suicune.
Fucking hate her. Oh, that's an interesting choice.
This bitch just sent out a Suicune.
Yeah, I don't like Sarah at all. She's just really obnoxious. She's
and it knows Blizzard.
A very obnoxious. Oh, you're boned.
Okay. Well,
what else?
Very unfortunate.
Sarah. Oh, Blackwall, who's like this old grizzled soldier guy.
Oh, do you have a drink to go get?
Maybe. I do have a drink to go get. Blackwall, Sarah, Cassandra, Iron Bull, Josephine, Solus, who I'm not going to talk about. There's two more. Dorian. I don't think I said Dorian. And then
This bitch knows psychic moves
who am I
too.
missing?
Dude, this Suicune is gonna be my hardest fight I've ever had.
You have like 10 squad mates in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh my god.
Oh, and Colin. That's it. That's
It's gonna
the
kill me. Kill it. Kill it quickly. Jesus Christ, this thing is kicking my ass.
I'm gonna go to the bridge and get ready for the Shauna battle. Because it's anyways, alright, I'm gonna go get my drink.
It's gonna kill me. I survived. We're fine. We're fine, team. How's chat doing? It has been a long week, and I really just want to play more Monster Train. I'm gonna be honest. The game was really fun. Thunder, thanks for the recommendation. The game was actually really good. It's a pretty fun game. For $12, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. Got it. Pretty good. Pretty fucking good. So, I want to play more of that. And then, yeah, you were right. It's great. It's really fun. I like the concept. I got to the second to last boss, and then there's like I'm assuming there's like a super final boss or whatever. But I got there. No, I went too far over. I really like this game. I think this game's really cool. So, I'll play more of that. We have Monster Hunter Stories 2 demo tomorrow. Yeah, I got beat by the ew. I'm vetoing this gloom. It's just gross. I got beat by the bird boss. Because I decided, or not the bird final boss, but I got beat by the bird level because I decided, oh, I think I'm really good at this game right now. I thought I had strong stuff, so I decided to do one of the challenges, which made them do 8 more attack. That was a fucking oh. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, they fucking wiped me like that. Yeah, I was like, oh, 8 more attack? I'll kill them before I forget that they attack first, number 1, and then number 2. It just destroyed me. So it was really fun. Well, there's a Dialga in my area.
You gonna go fight Shauna yet?
TM.
I think you have to go past Shauna to get it, but I could be wrong. Okay, well, I'm fighting Shauna.
And there's Palkia.
Okay, so
I have Dialga and Palkia in this area.
That's actually really cool. Okay, you should definitely go for it now then. So now that we've talked about sexuality in video games, but mostly just Dragon Age, and representation and how it matters. Oh, I do remember seeing the clip of Miles Morales using sign language in the game.
Yeah, it's very
which
cool.
was also very cool. Accurately animated sign language, nonetheless.
It's very great. It's with the artist. The one who does all the murals and stuff in the game. She's deaf.
I see.
Just go over here, and then the TM is up here. I just went too fast because of skates, and I accidentally fucked it up, like I just did right there again. God damn it!
You're hilarious. Let's see.
Anyway, okay, sorry. I'm just getting a little angry at myself here because I'm stupid. But it's fine. It's fine. Oh, hey, look, Braxton. I would actually be okay with a shiny Braxton if it did well. If it looked good. Oh, wait, we already have shiny Delphox in that.
Strategy, that is an interesting... That's an interesting situation. Though, I assume they said polyamorous, not polygamous.
And polygamous are different.
Polygamous is... Yeah. I have some poly friends, and it was like, oh, okay. Well, it's I don't blame you. It's an easy mistake to make.
No
but
judgment here.
um,
A little bit of judgment.
yeah, but like we have some friends that are, and it's just like and the thing is, I want to be a good friend, just like I'd ask about a friend's, wife or husband or whatever. Like I want to know about the relationship, but they're also, it's weird. Their partner is
Venom
also,
drench?
well,
What the fuck is
it's
that?
weird. It makes them poison type, I think, or it poisons. No, it reduces their stats, I think.
And poisons them?
No, I think it just reduces their special defense by like
That sounds
2 or
booty.
something. 75, 90, 180. No, I'm not gonna learn Stone Edge. I'd rather have
Medicham,
Rock
why?
Slide. But yeah, we have some poly friends, and I try to keep up with them and the whole relationship, but like it's just I don't know the questions to ask, because the other thing too is that it's the friends we know are man, woman, here, local, but then just the girl has a second boyfriend who is long distance, and the guys are not in a relationship with each other, but they are also like both fully aware and supportive of the whole thing. And so it's just weird. Like I don't know the questions to ask. I don't know how to have
Yo,
a
how's it
good
going?
conversation about
Everything going well?
yeah, how's it going, you two, and also your third partner who lives like 2,000 miles away.
That you
Like, and
never
I don't know.
have seen. All you're doing is.
Well, no, they've
Oh.
they've synced up
Okay.
a handful of times. But like he literally lives in
fuck?
Canada, so like it's weird, and it's just like I don't know how to have that conversation, because I want to be inclusive of that, but I literally just like don't know how to have the conversation about that sort of thing.
I don't know.
I don't care. They can, whatever makes them
Do
happy.
what you
I don't
gotta
give a
do,
shit.
my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't care if that it can be, and I understand the stress, because if it's just a sex thing, you can keep that private. Nobody really needs to know. It's no one's business. But if it's more
Which
than
it
that,
probably is in this case.
which in this case it is, like I know that it is, and so like I want to stay apprised of my friends and how they're doing, and the people my friends date are important to me too. But like, how do I ask about their long distance poly? Like I just don't know what to ask. And they're like open about it, and they said their family's actually pretty cool with it, all things considered, which is nice. They said it was definitely a bit of a, oh, okay, but like they're good with it, so that's nice.
What the fucking balls?
But yeah, it's
Oh.
you having trouble with the
No,
slidey
just-
puzzle? Is baby having trouble with the puzzle?
Fuck. Actually, yes, because I just fucked it up. Because there's a rock right here that I can't see.
Oh, yep, you did fuck it up. You
Fuck
gotta
my
leave and come back.
Right in the fucker. I just you fuck it.
Yeah, it's as far as that reaction thing. It's like the whole thing is I don't want to react. Like I want to be accepting, and so I want to just be like, okay, I may not be perfect at this, but like I'm not gonna be mad. Like you do you, right? Like I genuinely don't care.
Your kink is not my kink, but your kink is okay.
I care about my friends, and I care about my friends being happy.
Look, as long as they're not a scammer.
The end. Yeah.
Stunky, go away. I want the Dialga Like, please, just go the fuck away. The Dialga was much better of an option here. Honestly, the Dialga would be best. I don't care about the Palkia. Oh, God.
Yeah. I love Archeops, though. He doesn't have Defeatus. That means he's going to be really good. Defeatus is what makes him bad. He has good stats. You should see if you can figure out what his ability is. I love Archeops is one of my favorite
This is
fossils,
where we be an
no
honest
lie.
person and say we've already vetoed a Gloom that was in here.
Oh, I didn't even see the Gloom. Was it while I was gone? Oh,
The
I got a
gloom was
Balancierno
fucking
as well.
gross and
Okay.
terrible.
Oh, well, Gloom is gross and terrible, so, you know.
Oh, poopy sickles.
Um, but yeah, I don't like with our friend. I can't even remember the context in which they told us because I he withdrew his Slakoth because it didn't have anything to deal with ghost types. That's funny. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. Like I want to be accepting of other people because I don't care. Like, be in relationship with whoever. If you want to be a power
Yeah, man,
thruple,
who
like
cares?
go
If
for
you're
it.
fine, if you're happy, then the fuck is it
As
matter?
long as everybody's because it is one of those things where the danger is that it historically has been a
Yes.
vehicle for abuse, and so making sure that that's not that is really important. Um, and as long, but if everyone's on the same page, if everyone's on board and genuinely so,
What do I name
not
this
coerced
thing?
into it, go for it. Well, I don't know. He's a bit of a Archeops is a bit of a dork and a bit of a dweeb, just based on its
That's
animation,
true.
you know. So it definitely shouldn't be like a noble or honorable or
I
suave name.
need a name for the burb. Burb, burb, burb. Burb is the word. Burb, burb, burb. Party parrot?
Yes.
That's really fucking good. It is just
Yes.
enough with the space as well.
Oh,
Party
even
parrot it
better.
is. Oh my god. What a dumb.
Really, I do want to see what its ability
What
is,
a
though. You don't have to use it,
dumb
but I
fucking
do want to
looking
see what its ability is.
Pokemon.
Survivor. I love Survivor.
I want to see the. Oh god, the
He
Braxian's
was.
so good.
You've seen it, I think. I'm pretty sure you've seen
No,
Shiny Braixen before because you've had Braixen over this run. You've bumped
it's
into
so
them before.
good. I like its purple form, and I like its original shiny better. Shiny Delphox is terrible. I wish I could go
Oh
back
yeah,
and
yeah.
unevolve my fucking shiny Delphox because the
Oh
Braxian
yeah.
was just so pretty. I'm trying to find Dialga and Palkia and see if I can see their colors. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
Yeah. Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition also has a canonically trans
Oh, we're back to this, huh?
character
Damn, I thought we.
who is voiced by the Jennifer Hale, who
I
voices
thought
Femshep.
we were past this, but I guess we're not.
Nope. There was a whole thing about how there's a
Who
trans character in this game.
cares?
Ooh, scarier children. What's great is that so number one, I actually kind of in a fantasy world there is not any sort of treatment that they can get. I assume they could have made one up with magic and said that he magicked himself into being a man, but like they don't. They just like he basically is like, yeah, I wear a lot of bindings and I cut my hair like this, and but I was vaguely aware of this controversy when I met the character in game, and so I was like, wait a minute, that character was really androgynous. Like, I actually don't know. Like, I talked to the character, and I'm like, I don't know if they're a man or a woman. I cannot tell, and it's because effectively it was effectively a female character pitching their voice down with a female voice actor to sound like a man because that's the closest thing that they could do. And they're actually friends with that Iron Bull guy who's from the other country, and people give the character shit about being trans or whatever, and Iron Bull is like, shut the fuck up. Number one, who cares? Number two, in my country, we have a name for people like this, for people that are born in the wrong body, and they're called this, and they're an accepted part of society, and we don't give a shit. And number three, you're a fucking asshole. Like, he goes off on these people for it. And uh, the character is really good. And, like, the fact that he is trans is, like, not it is a good representation because it is not relevant to his story. He is Trevor has a Victini. Great.
That's.
Great.
We have to battle all three.
I love Victini. You have to battle all 3, and they
That's
all
such
have
a hard
6.
battle.
They're not bad. So far, I've been pretty lucky. The Victini is by far the hardest thing I fought. But yeah, Krem is the name of the character. And yeah, he's great. Like, it comes up, he talks about it, he deals with people not accepting him for who he is, but it is also not the most interesting thing about his character. And he's I guess it's not the most interesting thing. There's a situation in which you can let him and some other people die, and assuming you keep them alive, then you get to know him and the rest of his people better. And so
There's
yeah,
one thing
which is really interesting.
It kind of goes back to what strategy was saying about like articles and stuff about media and all that stuff.
Oh sure, I want to talk about the media,
Yeah.
capital T, capital
There's
M.
so there's some studies going out showing that there are not showing, but there's discussions about will we need COVID vaccine boosters. But
Oh,
the
I
fucking
saw this a
article
little
was
while
like,
ago.
COVID vaccine antibodies like wear down over time. It's like, yeah,
Yes, all antibodies do. That's literally how
yes.
all illnesses work.
Yes, it does.
Shoot me up. Shoot me
Why
up.
the fuck do you think
All
we
the
have
needles.
why the
Acupuncture
fuck
me
do you
with
think we have a
vaccines.
fucking flu shot every year? Are you stupid?
Well, okay, sorry.
No,
I gotta correct you. The
it
flu
is
shot is different every year
Yeah,
because it's
blah,
a
blah,
different
blah.
strain every year. But you get boosters
Yes,
for
you do.
things like
I just got mine.
tetanus, and you get people for. I told you. Did I tell the rusty
No.
nail story on stream? Oh, I stepped on a rusty nail twice in a week.
You ain't got a tennis shot.
And so the first time I did it, I reacted fast enough that it seemed like I pulled away and I ran inside and I was freaking out, and then I realized that I did not puncture the skin at all, and I was really mad about it. I was like, oh my god, I stepped on a rusty nail. What is this, a sitcom? Like what world am I living in? And then I was like, I don't see a puncture wound. I'm gonna just chill. And if I start to feel weird, I'll go get a tetanus shot. But like, I literally couldn't even. Not only could I not see blood, I couldn't even see like a scratch in my skin. Well, I was like, yeah, but like if I didn't even poke my skin, like it doesn't matter. But then, not even a week later, after the explosion incident, I was in a different part of my yard and stepped on a completely unrelated rusty screw. And that time, it was the tiniest pinprick. Like, didn't bleed. I could just see a teeny tiny red mark where it poked me. And so I was like, fuck it. I did this twice in 1 week. I'm just going to go get a tetanus shot. And luckily, my local grocery store could do them without an appointment. I could just go. I called to make an appointment. They're like, oh, you don't need an appointment. We just don't do them very often, so let me go see if I have one in stock right now. And then I got there, and while I was filling out the form or whatever, I heard somebody make a joke about a rusty nail. And so when I gave my form back, I'm like, I heard you joking about rusty nails, but to be clear, that is not only what I did, but I did it twice in 1 week. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's not a big deal. I thought you should know it does happen.
So yeah, there's boosters for things. It just happens.
And it was a teeny tiny. The guy told me that it was going to be so much worse than the COVID shot in terms of soreness and stuff.
It was fucking rough. My tennis.
For me, just the injection site, just that one little spot was mildly sore for like a week, and then that's it. But I didn't have the whole shoulder pain. I didn't have any body pain.
My
nothing.
whole arm was just fucking sore.
I didn't have any of that, which is weird because like for the COVID shot, I was fucking wrecked for a day.
That thing fucked me up.
Yeah. My husband actually sent me that they are working on they're going to try out mRNA vaccines for. Okay, I'm going to look it up because they were interesting. One of them was for melanoma. Because some cancers you can vaccinate against, which we already vaguely know with cervical cancer and HPV. The HPV vaccine can prevent ovarian cancer or something like that. And so they're working on melanoma vaccines.
Faster than my fucking evolved Haxorus. What the shit? It's 3 levels below me, and it's faster than Haxorus. That's insane.
What is the other one? Come on, Discord, you're being slow.
Anyway, long story short, the media tries to get outrage and like fuel nonsense, and it's
like let's get, if I need
a
a booster,
Who
give me a
fucking
booster.
cares?
Like
they are needed. Who cares? You know what would be even better if everybody got vaccinated and the shit just died. That'd be cool.
The other one is malaria. They're working on
Thank
mRNA
God.
vaccines for malaria, which would be insane because malaria is, if I recall,
one of the biggest, like,
I believe it is the deadliest disease, even beating out bubonic plague. If I recall, it is the deadliest disease. Oh, HM for waterfall. That's like actually a good HM or a good move. There is a TM back in the previous town that requires waterfall, but I think you might need the last gym badge to use it. I can't remember.
Infectious disease that affects humans and other animals. Let's see. History, society and culture, economic impact, eradication. You can go fuck yourself with those push-ups.
But yes, I'm very excited about mRNA vaccine developments because it is such a cool technology. And yes, shoot me up. Give me all the shots. Do it.
Let me see. Yeah, there's a vaccine for malaria.
I'm pretty sure all y'all have gotten the shot, so I won't do my pitch again. But
if you haven't,
if you haven't. I'm pretty sure y'all.
Please be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem.
Yes. Because it's like the thing that blows my mind too is when you think about a certain other. Like, no one would scoff, even if, like, I guess if you were downright anti-vax, people might complain. But, like, if somebody who is skeptical about the COVID shot, if you said something like, oh yeah, I went and I had to get a tetanus shot, they'd be like, oh yeah, tetanus shot. That's what you do. And it would not be a question for a lot of those people. But then this shot, because it's different and new, people have.
It's bad.
I mean, which I get. I understand people being skeptical about the new thing. I understand people being skeptical about COVID, being like, especially with the resurgence of the whole lab leak theory situation, which is a legitimate thing to be worried about. But because the first person spouting the bullshit was Trump, who's the xenophobic nonsense, like
you're really going down this hole, huh?
Gremlin. I'm just saying, if the first person to talk about it wasn't a bullshit gremlin, maybe we would have been able to actually talk about it seriously.
That's very good.
Right, like, it's something that we should legitimately consider because there is a lab that literally researches coronavirus diseases in the same province. Like, it's not an insane thing, but because all the information at first came from Trump and people like Trump spouting xenophobic bullshit, they did a disservice to everyone else because we couldn't take it seriously. He was being a racist fuck, and we couldn't actually have a decent conversation about it because he tainted the dialogue. And that sucks. I agree. That absolutely blows that's how it that's how it happened. But like it did, but the reality is it is a very real possibility. That doesn't mean that it was intentional. It doesn't mean that it's a Chinese government ploy. It literally could be that some lab worker. It could be a lab worker who had a bad day and fucked something up. And like, I don't want to demonize, the one person who made a mistake and caused a global pandemic. Like, obviously, it would suck, but like, you cannot.
What the fuck is up with the Pokemon you're fighting? You fought a Mew earlier, and now you're fighting a Celebi.
I am. It's weird, but like, I don't want to demonize the one person who made if somebody made a legitimate mistake and it was a fuck up. I don't want I would like to know what happened, but I definitely don't want to know who it was.
Yeah,
If it
well,
legitimately
it
was
would
one
literally
person's
ruin their
mistake,
lives. But
yes,
at
absolutely.
the
And so I
same
never want
time,
to know
you're
who it
working with
was.
some fucking crazy shit. Maybe be careful.
Agreed.
Maybe
Absolutely
be
agreed.
careful.
But I would say that it's the people's in charge job to maintain, and this is true of any engineering system. You have to engineer for
Yes.
human mistakes. You have to operate under the assumption that
Well,
people will make
what
mistakes
for our college. They
always.
have the bio lab that they just built recently, and like, there's a ton of
Hmm.
protocols for that
Hmm.
thing because if it were to fail, it would literally wipe out that entire town.
It could be downright catastrophic, and we should be aware of that.
So
But yeah, but like we can't. I don't want to be out here demonizing and otherizing one person who maybe made a legitimate mistake and the
God
systems in
damn it,
place
I'm
weren't
fucking
robust enough to
confused.
handle
This is gonna
that.
take forever to fight this bitch.
Also, if you've made it through the entire pandemic and haven't watched the movie Contagion yet, you should because it's an amazing
Man,
movie.
could
I wait, I changed clothes. I
could
didn't
you
change clothes.
imagine
I'm
if
so
this was
mad.
actually like some kind of zombie apocalypse nonsense and it took
Oh my god, zombie movies are going to be different
like
for the rest of zombie movies are going to be very
I
different
want a
in the
Shaun of the Dead
future.
2 where it happens again, only it's like people
People
deny that it's
deny that it's
real.
real this time.
And they just are like,
Yes, I legitimately zombie movies are going to see a renaissance of which again, Contagion actually
looking at you,
directly
Texas.
addresses, and it was seen as
Oh, why did I
at the
send this
time
Pokemon out? That was
that part
stupid.
of the movie was seen as like completely outlandish and no one would ever be this way.
Mm,
But like, oh yeah, they
mm.
fucking nailed it. Some guy selling some shitty fake cure and making people scared of the technology that's actually out there. Like that was part of the actual movie.
But yeah, could you imagine like
Great movie, but legitimately
imagine
great
if
movie by the
COVID
way.
actually did some crazy shit where, let's say in a crazy way, that it made people zombies and it had a 2 week incubation period and shit. Do you think people would have reacted the same? Or do you think a lot of the reaction happened because of Trump's influence? Because I think Trump.
I think that Trump was actively detracting from the dialogue, and it sucks. It sucks that I have to say that because, broadly speaking, all else aside, I get why Trump was elected. I've never not understood. I've always understood why people were drawn to him, and it is frustrating that he was the one in charge when this happened because he actively made the situation worse by creating a dialogue that was
You can't
dangerous.
accurately test. I don't think that's correct. You can absolutely accurately test these things. You can measure antibodies. You can measure reactions. You can measure a lot of.
He's saying what it's you can't test once it's in the syringe, and that's in a sense you're right. You can only test a batch. You can't
Oh,
test an
okay. I see what
individual
you're saying.
vaccine. It would
Okay.
be
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
would be
All right. I'm with you.
unreasonable.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But also, let's extend your metaphor. And I'm not here to attack you or whatever. But let's
We're here
extend
to
your
attack you.
metaphor. Would you want to test every
You
brick
don't.
in a
By
brick
the way,
building?
you just don't.
You don't. You would
You
never
don't.
that because that would be ridiculous. You wouldn't test every brick, as long as your mixture or whatever for how what are bricks made
Mortar.
of?
It's clay. It's
No,
clay.
mortar goes
It's made
between
of
them.
fired clay. Bricks are clay.
Clay. Okay, fired clay. But yeah, you would never
So
test
here, let me
every
put this in
brick.
a construction's perspective. So you have a bridge deck pour, that the surface that you drive on. We don't test every single truck, and a truck is like 8 to 9 yards of concrete. We don't test every single. We test every 50 yards. So every 5 trucks we test concrete. We're not testing every single fucking yard of concrete. You
Yeah,
can't.
you just can't. And so you are correct. You can't test every syringe, but you can't test every brick that goes into a building either. You can't test every inch of pavement on a bridge. You can't test every foot of rebar that goes into a building support. You can't test, you know, every salad that comes out of Chipotle, right? Like you
Every
can't
salad
test
that
it
goes
all.
in. Oh, this bitch is flying. Why am I?
I hate there was legitimately a Chipotle issue in our area a few
Was it
years
really?
back with the
Oh, the E.
lettuce.
coli thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The E.
Oh,
coli
and to
thing.
be clear, we found
After you
out
had
about
Chipotle.
that and we had literally not only had we had Chipotle, we had Chipotle at one of the
Nice.
affected locations
Bro, you almost
the
got E.
day
coli.
before.
You fucking idiot.
We were we were not freaking out, but we were like, well, I haven't had the shits
That's
yet,
so
so I
fucking
guess we're
funny.
fine.
Goddamn.
But legit, we heard about this. We were like, oh wow, didn't we have Chipotle like 2 days ago? And then we were like, where's this E. coli outbreak? And we looked up, and they were like,
But isn't E. coli really not
oh.
that bad? If you're
I
healthy,
mean, it gives you the runs. That's all it is. If you're healthy, it gives you
and then
diarrhea,
you're
and then you're
fine.
fine.
But man, it's a miserable couple days
Like, yeah, you might have to
if you
go to
get
the
dehydrated.
hospital a little bit. Like, you might have to get some fluids or something. But like, broadly
Dehydration.
speaking, it's not fatal for the vast majority of people.
Dehydration's a real bitch.
Um, but yeah, it's kind of like it's like blood donations. You test in batches because it's not feasible to test every single one. But if you make an entire, when you make vaccines, you don't make them one syringe at a time either. You make them in large
I
batches,
mean,
decently large batches, and then
strategy.
you
Are you
divvy
talking
them
about
up.
like we haven't tested them on people because there are people tests that volunteer for this stuff. There's also animal tests and such. Like they do testing on narcotics and they do testing on
Oh,
medicines
the
and they do
mo-
testing
the
on a bunch of. Oh, no, everyone has defeatist. That's ass.
That's funny.
Like there's.
It traced your defeatist. That's funny.
Oh right, because Rayquaza
Um,
has defeatist because it's poopy. Because this Rayquaza's big doo doo.
you're saying that you can't test for long term effects
I mean, a
of a
vaccine just builds
vaccine.
antibodies.
Well, right. Well, we'll get there, but like because I've heard this from other people, so I want to make I like legit can answer this question. I know if this is what you're talking about, I legit can give you some insight into this. Um, if the idea is that you're worried about that you can't test long term effects, especially in a situation where like the idea would be the vaccine has only existed for a year, so you can't possibly know what the 30-year effects of the vaccine are.
That
A
happens. I
bad
mean,
batch. I mean, you can
yeah, you
test
test
batches though.
batches.
You test batch.
I'm so confused. I don't know what you're trying to get at, but you're just wrong. And I hate to say it, but that's not how it works.
You can legitimately test,
Yeah,
like you do test batches every time. I am operating under an
you
assumption here. I don't
do.
actually
There's
know.
there's Federal Drug Administration regulations that you have to focus on.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, you
trust
have to
every
you
sing can you do every single bottle? No, but when you get your vaccination card, they write down a certain like 5-digit code.
Yeah, and if there are
They have
issues,
a
they can
5-digit
trace
code
it
that
out.
they
Yeah.
or whatever have you, and that's a certain batch, and that batch can be traced back to other things, and like that's
Yeah, let's
yeah.
look at
Mine's in my
mine.
wallet, which is in my room.
Yeah. If there's anything on here.
I think your date of birth.
Yeah, I probably hit that fast enough. Don't go frame
Oh,
by
I
frame.
couldn't even see it. It was too bright.
It's also not written very well.
Yeah, yeah, it has a lot number, which is your batch number.
This may not be in focus. I think it was in
Did that
focus
just
for
did that
long
bitch
enough.
just explode me?
It did.
Idiot.
But yeah, like it's um
There are things for this. There are
yeah, like there
regulations
there
for
are
this.
precautions and but again, it's in the same way that like you can't test every the I made the joke about Chipotle, but like legitimately when these outbreaks happen, you have to react quickly. Um
I mean,
some people do have bad reactions, and
yeah.
there are some people that have
Let's
been
take it.
cautioned away.
Let's take it into the fact like the Johnson and Johnson thing that killed 13 elderly women because they had a heart attack, because of a blood clot, and that was something they could trace to. But it happened to 13 people out of thousands that got vaccinated. You can't really say like
There is
it was
also
like
you
1.01%. Like the safety factor is insane there.
Yeah, you can't. You are right. You can't test for every medical condition and
No, it's
every.
literally impossible.
But
The
you
vast majority.
can make certain assumptions that the vast majority of people don't have issues where you would expect problems, right? Like if you had a vaccine where you're like, well, we know for a fact that this type of technology, this type of specific chemical, whatever, we know that people with this specific medical condition reaction to this chemical or whatever. And you can predict a lot of those things, which is why they said, and actually with regular vaccines, they say if you're immunocompromised, don't get them. But this vaccine, because there's no actual
Right.
virus in it,
It's not a dead virus. It's just
immunocompromised people are
Yep.
largely fine. Yeah. No, that's fine strategy. It's weird. I think the point you're trying to make is that there are a lot of variables and you simply can't account for them all. And so somebody basically worried that they are going to be the 0.01% of people that has an
Right.
issue. Like you can call that paranoia, but it's not
Roll the
wrong. There's always going to be some people that have a Now, again, the average person shouldn't expect them
roll
to
the
be
fucking
that
dice.
person.
Just roll
And
the
the
fucking
average person
dice.
Right. But some people would reasonably like I don't think it's insane for people to worry that they'll be the one, that they are somehow going to be the
Right.
one where it's a
Right.
problem. And I get
It's
I
fine to
I
worry
get
about
that.
that, but it shouldn't be the reason why you don't go get a vaccine to save other people's lives.
Right. At the end of the day, you cannot ever know for sure that this vaccine in this kind of person, because even if every batch is the same, every
Right.
person is different. So you can never know with 100% certainty that it will be fine. But the thing is, you can also say that about
Yep.
literally
And you can say that about
anything.
food. You can say
You
that about
can't
drinks. You
know,
can say that about basic
right?
ibuprofen.
You can
I
never,
mean, you can say that about literally everything.
some people, but again, and I don't think it's insane to be like, well, this is medicine. It's different because it's a chemical that's artificial. But like, as much as the artificial chemical is a problem, there are other problems that fall into the same category where you can never know. You can never know that a certain pesticide or that a certain
Or a certain
whatever is gonna cause a problem with
or a
you in
certain warehouse
particular,
didn't
and you
exterminate the
can't know.
rats and they pissed on aluminum cans and people drank out of them and got insanely sick. Just saying.
Right, right. Like it feels like whataboutism, which is bad to say that sort of thing, but the reality is that while that I would empathize with somebody who's feeling that way. I would empathize with somebody who's paranoid, especially if they have a reason to be paranoid, like if they've had a bad vaccine reaction in the past. Um, don't. We're on stream, so I'm not going to say the
Don't be a
word.
bitch. Don't be a dick.
No, I'll say
Don't
bitch
be
and
a
dick all I
condescending
want.
asshole.
A different word with a C
Oh,
and an
a
N,
cunt.
but yes, yes.
Damn, it hit hard. There it is. Don't be. Yeah, you can say a cunt.
Yes. But no, like legitimately, I don't want to get into the what about this, what about that, but genuinely, you can apply that
Yeah, you
argument
can.
to anything, and
You
that's
can.
sort of
I
the
mean,
problem.
apply that
Is
argument
that
to.
you can never know. And I want to be clear that I relate to this because as a kid, I legit went to therapy because I was afraid that I would legitimately die from like
Oh, you
everything.
had the
I was
what
worried.
hypochondriac nonsense.
No, I mean the like. It wasn't hype. It was like I was worried that I vaguely knew that toothpaste was toxic, so I didn't want to use toothpaste. I was in particular the one that I most mention is that we live in Kansas. I'm small. Uh, I we live in Kansas and we live in Tornado
Oh,
Alley.
I'm terrified of storms. I'm still terrified of
And
storms.
I legit thought that any cloud could turn into a tornado.
Yeah.
Literally, blue sky, one wisp of a cloud. I was
Tornado.
terrified
Tornado.
that it could turn into a
Okay,
tornado.
tornado.
And I had to
I
go to
feel that.
therapy for this because I was so afraid of I like wasn't eating because I was worried that all the different things I was eating were going to be bad for me.
Yeah, it's
I didn't want to.
anxiety. Jesus.
I vaguely recall something where my dad wanted me to help him paint something, but I was like, well, paint is toxic. I don't want
There's
to be
lead
help
in paint.
Well, they're not anymore.
Not anymore, but there
hopefully.
was.
But like I was legitimately afraid of literally everything that I could die all the time, and I went to therapy for it, and weirdly, that issue went away all at once. Not no lie. It literally was. I literally remember I woke up, I saw that it was cloudy outside, and I realized I wasn't worried about a tornado.
And you were fine.
And then I was fine for the forever.
Well, see, my experience
I
is
still have
completely
anxiety
opposite.
about it. I have anxiety about this, that, and the other, and I have all sorts of weird problems. But like this idea that anything and everything could kill me at any time, like I still kind of fight that itch in the back of my mind, but I feel like it's at an amount that everybody does. It's that intrusive thought kind of thing,
Yeah.
which everybody deals with.
Oh God, all the time. But
So
my experience with storms is I hate them, and I was teased about them, so I hate them even more.
yes, the storms we had this morning were lovely, by the way.
They weren't super. We're supposed to have. We just got a severe thunderstorm watch just a second ago.
Yeah, I told my husband he was out doing stuff tonight, and I was like, keep an eye on the sky. It's supposed to storm, like spotty thunder pop-up storms, which is a thing that we get uniquely here in like the Midwest. Pop-up storms, they don't really happen anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, so strategy. When that's the case, like 0.1, 0.01% are going to be unlucky. Shit happens. That same 0.01% could literally get in their car and get unlucky about a tire that wasn't manufactured correctly. It could blow where they're going 85 down the highway and they swerve into a median and they die.
Well, the problem
it's the same
is
fucking odds.
The problem is there that the vaccine for many is voluntary. You don't have to get it. You have to drive places.
No, you don't.
You have
it's
to eat
drive.
food.
You can take a bus.
Right. No, and what I'm saying is that the perception of what people think is necessary
yeah I agree, strategy. We're on the same
different
page.
than what is.
I appreciate like the devil's advocate of like, this is stupid, people should just take it. I agree. We agree with you. And this is why we agree with you, is because it's safe.
Well, and I empathize with people. I have a friend who basically mentioned like it wasn't tested as well as other things. It's like, no, we don't have data of an individual who was vaccinated 40 years ago and who can be a model for what happens when you have this vaccine for 40 years in your body. The other thing though about that is that we also have reason to believe that the vaccine won't cause problems for 40 years because, for example, the vaccine, when it goes into your body, it does all its stuff, and then your body gets rid of it. It goes through your kidneys and you pee it out. And so we have reason to believe that it shouldn't cause long-lasting effects because your body filters out the parts that it can't break down. It breaks down everything else.
That's the thing, is like,
and the rest of the reaction of your body is actually an entirely natural reaction to how you would deal with any illness, and the parts that your body can't deal with go away within weeks.
The thing about the thing with vaccines is like, if you're gonna have a reaction, it's gonna be within the first week that you have the shot. After that, you are in the clear. It doesn't matter anymore.
Because vaccines are activating an internal natural response that your body has to all sorts of diseases. So I think that it's a reasonable fear for people to have, especially if they don't know what's going on. And if they don't understand it. Like, and for the record, I've watched literally hours of videos and read articles to try to understand.
Straight up just circles to media trying to blow shit and do fear mongering to get clicks, and then it freaks people out, and then it stops them from like it's a constant hate circle.
Yes, for sure. And like I said, I don't absolutely.
That's been the stream. We're gonna end on. Can you imagine? We're gonna end on this fucking note.
I kind of want to end on Thunder's comment about weed, about how my mother told me she did all sorts of drugs when she was a teen, but she said I should never smoke weed because she was allergic to it, and she was worried that I would be allergic to it as well.
That's funny. Okay, so all right, so the comment is about 40 years later. So again, as we said, vaccines don't work that way. Vaccines build antibodies, and your body it forces your body to have a natural reaction. So
Yes.
it's safe. We're not. It's like vaccines are not giving you these artificial, insane chemicals or anything like smoking a cigarette or inhaling some kind of secondhand. Like it's not. We're not injecting you with like ibuprofen and shit. It's like
Well, we absolutely inject you with things that your body cannot process. However, that's what your kidneys are for.
Yeah.
They literally get rid of the things that they break it down until it can't be processed anymore. Your body does. And then you pee out the things you can't. And so you're right that there are things in there that your body can't deal with, and that if you were like taking a supplement of that chemical every day for 40 years, you might have some problem.
Right. So yeah, if you're taking like 4 ibuprofen every day for 40 years, yeah, there might be an issue with your kidneys breaking down because it's doing extra work.
You'll get ulcers first. I actually happen to know that. That's what ibuprofen does.
Yes.
But yes.
It's an example. It's the first thing you take to mind.
I know. I'm fucking with you. But yeah, we have reason to believe, based on the evidence we have from a lot of other things
and other vaccines for that matter, like polio,
that these components won't cause long-term effects and can't because they're not in your body
polio,
anymore.
Hepatitis, tetanus,
meningitis, and
measles, chickenpox.
Right. If we had some sort of chemical that could somehow get into your body, but that your kidneys couldn't filter, if your kidneys couldn't filter them, then yeah, I would actually that would be a very reasonable concern. The idea that your body can't handle it, but yeah, it's complicated, and I understand people that have those sorts of opinions because those are reasonably informed opinions about these things. I have less
recommended by age.
I have less empathy for people who don't want to get vaccinated because they're lazy.
Here we go. Here, I'm gonna get. This is gonna be.
We should. I know, but we really should.
I want to make a small point here because these are immunizations.
Well, I'm the small one, so you have to not.
Are you small right again?
Now, so I mentioned it earlier and you didn't respond.
Oh, I was too busy shitting on Thunder for comments and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Son of a bitch.
But I am in fact small.
No, you're not. All right. So here, we're gonna go through this real quick. But here is a list of immunizations that you get when you're just born. Hepatitis B, polio, PCV, so pneumococcal, rotavirus. You get tetanus and whooping cough. You get. You could also get polio at 4 months. You hepatitis B could also be at 4 months. Influenza.
You are making the assumption
at 12 months. 23 months.
You can turn those down.
Measles, hepatitis A, you can turn them down, but most people just get them.
We had somebody at work, I remember, who a friend of mine had just had a baby, and another coworker at work also had a baby. And they mentioned something about, oh yeah, we just took so and so to the doctor yesterday. We got all the shots. It was a big thing. They were like baby talk. Yeah. And then the other guy was like, oh yeah, we're sort of doing the delayed schedule. We're taking it. We're blah blah. And me and the other guy were like, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I get it, but we just felt that it was the right thing to do. That they sort of did that sort of thing.
At 11 to 12 years old, you should get meningococcal, HPV, Tdap, and then it says flu vaccine, but
Tdap or Tdap?
Tdap. Sorry, I said Tdap. It's Tdap.
Because that Tdap was what I got. That's the tetanus shot. Yeah, it's also got pertussis, and I can't remember what the D is for. Tetanus, something, and pertussis. And I don't know what the D is. No, I can't read that comment strategy. We have to end the show.
It's just a one-up. It's the 0.01%. Shit happens. It's the world.
We gotta play Xenoblade. This is keeping us from Xenoblade.
We gotta fuck with big titty women and swords, dude. Is that how it is? Don't yell at him. He's being interactive. And you too could be interactive by following, subscribing, smashing the like button, liking the smash button, subscribing to the OnlyFans and the Patreon, and play on the Discord. It's a fun time. We'll see you next week, guys. Everybody, bye-bye. Stay around for Xenoblade. I'll see you later, motherfuckers. Dun spars.